Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Tuesday. And I'm a little bit late and a little bit hoarse because you know what generally happens on Tuesdays, singing. And we've had a great session singing, but it means I'm late, I'm hoarse, and I have the Lunar Soul Tarot on the tarot table. It's my Woke Tarot deck, and today we're looking at Harry's Awokening, as I'm calling it, a lame pun. But anyway, this story that was in the Daily Mail a few days ago, a very interesting article about Harry suddenly becoming all woke, and the article says it started with granola. It all started with granola. The story that Harry suddenly changed after he met Meghan. Friends have been talking to the Daily Mail about this, and they say that it started with granola, visiting country house. He was doing yoga in the morning and then coming downstairs, getting granola, and off back upstairs to Meghan, not sitting down to a hearty full English breakfast with his mates as he normally would have, which I'm sure would have helped with the hangover. And then things like the period poverty speech that Harry gave, that Meghan clearly wrote at that Christmas carol service, the event to mark a dear friend's passing, tragic young death of a friend. I can't remember the name of the friend now, but that was all very embarrassing for everyone. Meghan interrogating, sending emails, wanting to know the profiles of people who would be at parties, the guests, you know, who they are, what they wear, what they're going to be wearing, all that kind of nonsense. Very rude, treating all of those things like a networking event. Creating a scene when she and Harry weren't sat together at a dinner party, storming out of things, making life very difficult for Harry, basically, including falling out with Violet von Westenholz, who was an old friend of the family, not just of Harry, the person who, it's rumoured, introduced Harry and Meghan, although we've heard various iterations of that story. And I don't think we have got to the bottom of it yet. Also, somebody that people speculate might have been somehow involved with that whole bump story. Let's just put it like that. Violet being ghosted. She's been cut off over a silly tiff with Meghan, according to the story. The interesting thing about this story that obviously came from friends talking to the Daily Mail, saying how awkward and embarrassed Harry was, and who admitted that Meghan behaved very oddly, but he didn't care because she was so hot. Anyway, the interesting thing about this story is that no sooner had it gone up on the Daily Mail website than it disappeared. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross with the Lunar Soul Tarot. I'm going to look at it from Harry's point of view, this whole woke thing, and his friends, his relationship with his friends. The friends have fired some shots across the bow recently with the book Spare, and one of the things in this book was, in this article, was that he allegedly came very close to cancelling his book Spare under the advice of the gone blank completely, the Spencer family. They advised him not to go to press with it, and he almost changed his mind, and then obviously a little voice whispered in his ear that he must publish it. Think of those millions. So he's really torn. He's torn between two. He's torn between Meghan and her woke world, the California, the agents and the business managers and everybody else, and the old friends he's ghosted, the old friends he doesn't have anything to do with, the friends who did seem to fire some warning shots a few months ago and said, we know stuff about you, and you better shut up about us, or we will tell us stuff about you. And it was similar tone in this article in the Daily Mail, that there were some things that what Harry has admitted to in his book is very far. We're going to keep that card the way up. That it showed up as a very interesting card because it's the Friends card. And sorry, it doesn't normally happen to me that cards come out like this, but we take it the way it is coming out, and we have it's just the way I didn't notice that some of those cards had flipped over when I was shuffling. Doesn't matter. It's alive. It's real. And we've got an interesting underlying energy. One of the extra special cards that's added to this tarot deck, to the Lunar Soul Tarot deck, it's called Wu Wei. And I forgot to mention, of course, it's just tarot. It's for fun, it's entertainment, it's opinion, it's gossip, speculation. I read on archetypal energy here. I interpret archetypal energy involving the royals. We learn from archetypes, of course, and their problems and things that happen to them. And disclaimer in the box below. So we got that out the way. Let's have a look at this underlying energy, the Wu Wei card. It's about flow. This card, going with the flow. And I think that's a very interesting extra energy to come out that isn't normal in tarot. Because going with the flow is exactly what Harry has done. He has stepped into that river and he has been swept along. The more powerful energy has swept him along, and the more powerful force in his life is Meghan Markle. To such an extent that he ditched his old friends. He ditched Violet von Westenholz. He went all Californian. He moved to California. He got swept away in that river. Very interesting. And I think it says what it says. Let's have a look at the cards that have already turned themselves over. The heart of this reading, uncanny how a very literal tarot sometimes is. We got the Three of Cups in reverse. It's a friendship card. And when the card is in reverse, falling out with your friends. It's parties, it's weekends at stately homes, Downton Abbey sort of thing, you know, upstairs, downstairs, hunting, shooting, fishing, all of that stuff, which he was stopped from doing. Old friends who've known him forever, fallen out with them. That is the situation that Harry finds himself in. The reading is now from Harry's point of view and his wokeness, and how his wokeness has affected his relationship with his friends. The friends are thinking in this article that the old Harry is just below the surface, scratch the surface, and there he is, wondering if he'll ever reappear, if he will ever return to their world. We're going to find out in this reading, but sure as nuts, there is the fallout. What is the particular problem with Harry? What's going on with him? What's his problem? Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands is about victory when it's upright. It's about attention, notice, triumph. It's quite egotistical, I have to say. In reverse, it can be narcissism, it can be ego that's run rampant, a bit emperorish. Emperor card in reverse, the Six of Wands for me as a reader. So I think that he has been the victim of a little attack of ego, thinking that he was more glorious than the rest of them. He was on a better path. He'd been shown the path with our underlying energy card, followed it, swept away he wasn't he? And but that card shows that it didn't end up very well for Harry. It's a defeat card and a humiliation, embarrassment. I think ashamed to show his face to some extent. They did say, the friends, that he was rather embarrassed about the book and was quite ready to give it up, and does somewhat regret the things that he wrote about. I think he's embarrassed to show his face, doesn't want to show his face. Interesting. What's going on behind the scenes? Who got the thing pulled from the Daily Mail? We've got the Queen of Discs in reverse. She's shown up a couple of times today. Queen of Discs in reverse. I would say that's our Megsy, the wife. She's the wife in the tarot, the Queen of Pentacles, angry wife. It wouldn't be anyone else. It would be her. Got her lawyers in on it. This is humiliating. This is embarrassing. This is portraying me in a terrible light. I've signed all these deals with new agents. I'm gearing up for huge brand endorsements and things like that. I'm going to be a billionaire. How dare you take it down? I think lawyers' letters went to the Daily Mail. It might still be lurking around, but it was certainly taken off prime position, off the front page, and people had to scratch around to try and find it, archive copies, that kind of thing. Her wife, angry wife, how dare you insult me like that? And what's Harry's focus right now? What's going on with the friends thing? And the last of our cards that had already flipped themselves over for us is the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is grief and loss. You could say it's often a falling out of love card, the Ace of Cups in reverse, but people that he was really close to, that he was emotionally involved with, that he felt very strongly about, very connected to emotionally, he's now cut off from. He's cut off from his emotional support. with the Ace of Cups in reverse. And how on earth does he find his way back? If the card was upright, I would say that he's intent on reconnecting with those people and starting afresh, saying I'm sorry, and let's kiss and make up and let's move forward. But the card is in reverse. Ace is in reverse. You don't get a new start. You don't get a fresh beginning. You have to deal with the mess that you made, and he's dealing with this now. That people don't care. He's cut them off. They've cut him off equally, and he's lonely. Past energy, when the whole awakening happened and he dumped his friends. Tell us about that, whatever universe wants to tell us. And the Queen of Cups, again, we've got Queen energy. We've got someone who was Princess Diana too, who was masquerading as Princess Diana, portraying herself as Princess Diana too. And follow me, very manipulative, very emotional, crying, lots of tears, falling on the floor, sobbing. It's me or them. It's that kind of energy with the Queen of Cups. You've got to pick me. Otherwise, I'll be suicidal. I'll make your life a misery, a living hell, with all those tears that are going to be. We've got lots of cups in this reading. Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups, Three of Cups. A lot of emotions, a lot of that Harry would have to navigate. His friends' emotions, his own emotions, and Meghan's emotions. But there she is, there she sits. Queen of Cups, Mummy Diana. Follow me into the woke world, leave your friends behind. What's coming up next? Is he going to try and reconnect with them? Is he going to ditch some of the woke stuff and go back to Has the lad, sitting outside the pub in, I think it was Cornwall, chucking bottles over the wall and kissing the girls, all that sort of a bratish behaviour that he allegedly was guilty of in his teen years and his 20s, according to stories that go around. I can't just say that they're true stories, but those are the rumours that go around. So what's coming up next for Has-Been and his friends and the whole woke thing? We got the Hermit in reverse. That's interesting. That's coming out of seclusion, out of isolation, coming back with some sort of light, some sort of epiphany, even you could say. Harry coming back from the cold, I think, with the Hermit card in reverse. It is literally his card, the Virgo card, Major Arcana, the Hermit. That has been who's been isolated, cut off from his friends, is coming back. He is going to be spending quite a lot of time in the UK over the coming months because of his court cases. There is speculation he stayed on in London for a period of time after that preliminary hearing and that hacking case. I've read on it. But there he is. He's coming back with some sort of inner awareness, another awakening, a different kind of awakening, possibly. Very interesting card to be coming up in the near future position. So let's see what is his attitude to his friends right now, his intentions towards them. How does he feel about them? Knight of Wands, he's charging back. He's not coming back slowly, wants to reconnect. It's Africa. The Knight of Wands, hot climate, very much is the Knight of Wands. I think he wants to be off to Africa, hanging out with his mates there. He's got lots of friends there, all over the place. Old friends, fun friends, party friends. Chelsea springs to mind, although we have looked at that situation and she seems done. But these are good times, away from the spotlight, away from the woke world. The Knight of Wands is not woke, I can tell you that. It's a philanderer of note. It's very much what I want is what I have, what I will take, I will have, and then discard and go galloping off for new adventures, new sensations, new partners, new whatever. So he's ready to come out of the seclusion that he's been in, and he's ready to come out in a loud way and party and travel and carouse and have fun and fool around. And there it is. Very, very, very clear that he wants back in with that friend group that he had to give up for granola and yoga in the morning. So what pressure is he under right now with his life choices? And It's a very literal reading we're getting today. The Lovers in reverse, yeah, that's a separation card, Splitsville. If you choose them, it's a choice. Who are you going to choose? You're going to choose your friends? Or are you going to choose me? Are you going to choose California? Are you going to choose Africa? What are you going to do? What are you going to choose? Whatever you do, it's going to end up in a split. Divorce, separation, all the things that people are chatting about, gossiping about, speculating about, that it's happening, it's in the air, certainly in the energy that I'm reading through these cards, that I'm intuiting. It's there, and it's clear as bells with these, clear as a bell, sorry, with this card, with the Lovers in reverse. So his hopes and fears right now with the friends and the woke thing and the choices and the life choices. Ace of Discs in reverse, it's going to cost him. He's worried about plenty of things with that card in reverse. He's worried that it's going to cost him his chimpo thing, other things, Netflix. Interesting with this Knight of Wands, we see Africa here, and what's happening, Netflix Africa series, not with Netflix Africa, with Netflix, but in Africa with the wife. Planning some sort of docu-series about the irony of it, advising women on how to give birth safely and all the rest of it. Things that Megan, I would say, in my opinion, knows very little about, but that's just me and what I think. Ace of Discs in reverse, losing those deals, losing those things, but also worried about the fact that he might not be able to restart things with the friends. We've got two aces in reverse here. It might be too little, too late. You did terrible things, you behaved appallingly, you trashed your family, you trashed your friends, you trashed your exes, you did appalling things. Why should we bother with you now? So he's got his work cut out. What's going to happen long term with has been and his friends and the woke thing? We got 9 of Swords in reverse. He's got some tense times coming up. He's got worry, a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. The card is in the reverse, that it might mean that at some stage he actually decides to put an end to all the worry, and I don't mean a terminal end. I just mean that he might get some clarity, and he's going to go through some awful worry, some stress, some strain, the divorce, whatever the separation card indicates, the loss of big deals, of status, of position that is told in these cards. As well, the angry wife, the Queen of Discs in reverse, who's already getting articles pulled from the press, from the newspapers. But at some stage, that worry will be over and he'll be able to start recovering from it. But it's going to be a long process, and it's going to be tough. It really is going to be tough. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. His steps that he's wearing, his to top Prince William, be taller than Prince William. Pathetic. There it is. That's the reading. Step into the river, end up in a whole sea of trouble over there. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.